Good morning, good morning, good morning. What a great day. So, I hope everyone had as much turkey as I did, which I had a really, really good amount. So, it's funny, I was saying to my wife this morning, there are certain traditional roles that are still prevalent, right? Like women do XYZ, men do XYZ. But come Thanksgiving, one of the most prevalent masculine roles, at least that I grew up with, I'm from an Italian family, is that the man of the house cooks, cooks the dish, right? So come Thanksgiving, everyone plans to do all of their other stuff, but the turkey, Anthony's got the turkey, which is quite it's a big role, but there's a lot of responsibility on that role, especially since when you're cooking a turkey or any big meat for that instance, you don't slice it to see what it looks like on the inside because then you dry it out and all the juices go. So there is a certain level of confidence in knowing you did it correctly because when you actually slice it is when you're actually presenting it. You slice it to eat. So, for instance, when I cut that turkey, there is no more going back. All the food's on the table. Everyone's waiting. Everyone's watching. Oh my God, look at that turkey. I gotta tell you, I'm really, really good at it. So the turkey was a complete hit. Everyone loved it. And the gravy, which I'll give you a little secret, and I know I'm kind of blabbering, but it's a day after Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. It's our 1 year anniversary. So I hope I'm afforded 2 or 3 minutes to share Thanksgiving. But the gravy that I make, so there's a base of the stock, and then all the juices from the turkey as it's roasting and basting and all that. But since nobody eats the wings or legs anyway, I take them off and I put them in a pot. I take all the stuffing out, like the lemon and the onions. I put that in a pot and I start roasting it on a skillet hot. Garlic, salt, pepper, tomatoes. And then I take the stock and pour it in there. And then I take a smasher, like a mashed potato smasher, all the tomatoes, the wings, the legs, it all falls apart. It becomes this shredded beautiful chicken, shredded beautiful turkey. But the juice I strain and that becomes the gravy, piping hot and as much turkey as possible. But so now you have the white meat turkey, and then everything that got strained, all that dark meat that got shredded by me grinding and grinding it and reducing it is amazing. Everyone last night was like, "Oh my God, Anthony, how did you make this dark meat?" I was like, "Well, I guess you got to get on the live tomorrow." So that's my story. Thanksgiving was amazing, and I hope everyone enjoyed. So some really, really cool things. So all week we were thinking, what can we do for a Black Friday offer? And it's not so much the Black Friday as much as it is our 1 year anniversary. We don't like to participate in the everyone's doing it type of stuff, but it just so happens to be on the same exact date because last year for Black Friday, we wanted to do something. We said, you know what, let's finally allow everyone to take an ownership position in RHINO. Because everything was still in front of us, we decided let's do it at a penny, and each month we'll move it up a penny more so that everyone that's in knows that they're going to do well. We'll go ahead and support it. So if they ever want to sell, we'll purchase it back at the 2 cents, 3 cents, whatever. And at the same time, so it allows people the confidence that their money is safe, but it also allows everyone else to say, wow, look at what they're doing. And it brought people into the economics of RHINO. Long story short, exactly 1 year ago at 1 cent, we're now at $1.93. A month ago, we finally achieved launching on a public market. We were accepted for a public listing at $1. It's now $1.93. In fact, if you've taken a look at a chart, it's gone consistently up. In fact, of those 35 days, I believe, 32 of them have been positive. And if you remember, there was 3 days we were down, and that's because the funds did not hit the hold wasn't taken off at Coinbase, right, to go ahead and purchase. And as far as the eye could see, we see that continuing. More so than that, RHINO has always invested our time in building it correctly, right? Frida, you're amazing. Doing it correctly, right? So the goal was never, like, for instance, you've never seen RHINO with a bunch of Facebook ads or these fancy funnel systems or any of that stuff. And to RHINO's detriment, because it's not like we didn't want that, but to go ahead and create something correctly, you need to include everyone into each step of the process with the possibility that some steps might be incorrect and you have to go backwards. When you build out that large marketing scale, you can never really bring that backwards. For instance, if we go ahead and market to 10 million people and say ABC, and then a week from then we realize ABC was wrong and we say BCD, they're like, you just told me this last week and now you're telling me this week, not interested, right? So at the risk of not growing so quickly, we were able to not allow the incorrect message to get out. And by doing so, we were able to constantly perfect our message, constantly able to perfect who we are. And it's come down to, it's really, it's like an accordion, where all of these things, but then we have to simplify it to one thing. And we're a local search engine that's no ads, no targeting, no data, just local business. And we also built a digital economy around it. If you'd like to take a look, click here. Right? That's who we are. And as silly as it sounds, that sentence has taken years to come up with. Years. And that sentence has allowed us to then build out accordingly. So we have a RHINO lander, like a hub, Who's RHINO, that's being built. In fact, our RVP team is editing it as we speak. That is going to allow us a simple funnel. Hey, if you'd like to be listed on RHINO, click here. After they list, right, like after they press submit, and if you'd like to be a part of the digital economy, click here to learn more. That'll be a one-page, super beautiful, this is what RHINO Bucks is, this is how to get in, this is how to buy, sell, and if you want to start at $1, click here, right? That's going to be so powerful that our RVP team, who is responsible for the awareness in their region, and when I say region, I'm talking whole countries, right? Like we have someone in Malaysia, we have someone in Germany, we have someone in Australia, we have someone in Canada, we have someone in all these countries, right? Like 32, I believe. They have friends and family, they know the area, they know how to spread awareness. And then because we have such a succinct message, after a week or two of watching RVP and their successes and the challenges that they face, we're gonna have such a perfect system. Because when we bring in all of that data, and for lack of a better word, data, like how is it going over there, we're able to construct a really, really simple process. You're amazing, Frida. That simple process we can then scale. We can then put that everywhere. We can then market that. We can then do the ads with that. We can then go ahead and email that. We can then hire more RVPs. We can go ahead and allow the RVPs to hire RVP juniors underneath them. In the email, what I wrote today was, the last year was kind of the hard stuff, right? And what I mean by hard stuff is building automations, which is still not done, but it will be done today. And I know I've said that a lot, and I'm saying it now having no proof that that's going to be the case, but I'm going to be so on it that if it's possible to be done today, it will be. And I've said this before, and I've been wrong, but Monday at the absolute latest, but more so now, I'm super duper on it, because I also understand I've been saying this for 5 days and I feel silly, but technology is technology. Getting back to the point of all the hard stuff is behind us, that's a prime example. We built RHINO Street. The search engine's done. It's global. It identifies zip code anywhere in the globe. It calculates latitude and longitude anywhere in the globe. The signups are done. The email automations are done. Barring any type of catastrophe, The RHINO Bucks automations are done. The partnership with Stripe is done. The custom coding is done. Not only did we have to invent that stuff and think that stuff up, but we had to create it. We had to hire the team to do it. That's all done. What is now the case is spreading awareness. And if the messaging that I just shared with you sounds like it makes sense, and at the very least, well, and I think if you say that to 10 people, why wouldn't at least 3 or 4 of them sign up to be on a free search engine that's made for their community, right? Like we're asking to give someone free traffic. Hey, we have a search engine. May we put you on it so that when people search, they find you. That's not a hard thing for someone to say yes to. In fact, if more than 50% of people say no to that, it's our fault. We're saying the wrong thing because we're saying, can we give you business? And I don't know a reason to say no to that. Therefore, the hard work is behind us. Now it's just spreading awareness. Upon that individual getting into the free search engine and they take a look around and how is this free? Don't you guys have an overhead? Doesn't it take money to do this? How is this free? Well, because we have a digital economy where all the businesses collectively unite and agree to one particular asset that by everyone investing in it, everyone's making money. The asset's going up in price. So not only are you making money by participating in it, but RHINO holds a certain stake in this coin that RHINO uses to reinvest in the platform. The company, RHINO Research, owns 100 million RHINO Bucks. I personally own, I believe I'm at like 38% of RHINO Research because we've allowed investors in, which means I personally own 38 million RHINO Bucks. Does anybody here believe I'm going to run around with 38 million RHINO Bucks and say, okay, RHINO, you could go like kick rocks? No, that's being reinvested. So the money that is allocated to me, the coin that's allocated to me has always been allocated to me so that I can reinvest in the platform because the platform is what like my life's dream is. So when someone says, well, Ant, how is this free? It's not. But I'm bearing the brunt of the investment, but the investment that I'm putting in, the value of that investment is built on the I guess the membership numbers, and the membership numbers are built on the performance. So my goal will always be aligned. I need to perform better. I need to grow, because the bigger we grow, the higher the value that the asset that I have is, and that means the more we can do with it, right? So in sharing that message, I don't think anyone would say, well, you know what, good for you. I want you to just keep coming out of pocket. They would say, oh, okay, like let me get in too. Like I want to be a part of this. And to that point, the one thing that RHINO has been absolutely successful at is managing the investment. Everyone has always participated. I'm not even sure many times people said no to me. And I can tell you that what's really cool about having a coin, it's really a token, right? At an all-time high, by definition, and it says it in the email, by definition, anyone, any single person who ever decided to participate in RHINO, by definition, made the right decision. Because by definition, they can sell today and they would be selling at a higher price than they bought. And that's even as recently as yesterday. You could have bought yesterday at $1.91. It's now $1.93. You're profitable. Which means by definition, anyone who did not get into RHINO regrets it. Because if you could have knowing what you know now, to know that it was profitable, I'm not saying you're going to rip your hair out, but all things being equal, would you have liked to have gotten in knowing that you're profitable today? And the answer is yes. So do you regret not getting in? Well, regret's a strong word, but if I could go back in time, I would, right? And I remember, and it's so funny, so I'm saying this again, because in the moment, and it's a really powerful sentence, and it takes a lot of cojones to say it, because you really have to know what's ahead of you to say this sentence. But every single person I spoke to, I said, listen, if you could allow me just to nudge you a little bit. And it's not because I want you to participate now. It's because I want you to know who the man is that you're on the phone with. Because I know where we're going to be a year from now. And in that moment, you're going to say, Anthony, you didn't do a good job convincing me back then, because if you did, I would be in. So me not being in it is your fault, because I had the money, you had the presentation, and we didn't make a deal. Therefore, Mr. Jones, please allow me to nudge you, because I know 1 year from now, if I don't get you in today, you're gonna say, Anthony, you should have got me in, I wish you did. And the individual would say, okay, fine. You know what? That was a big sentence. Let me get in on this amount, this amount, this amount. And they were happy. But the people that did not get in said, Anthony, I appreciate what you're saying to me, and I promise you, I will not hold you accountable. I'm just not ready to get in. And I said, okay. Those individuals today, they don't blame me, right? Like, they're like, I get it, but I wish I had a time machine. And I said that in the moment. I said, you're gonna say you wish you had a time machine, so since we know that's gonna happen, this is a time machine, I'm speaking to you now. And that's that, right? So what we wanted to do today was to offer RHINO Time Machine. RHINO Time Machine is a way to go back to a previous price that's no longer available. So it's a public market. It's not like Anthony's making up the price somewhere. It's a public market. As you can see, people buy, people sell. In fact, when you take a look at our financials, you'll see that there's an average of $300 to $400 a day of selling. But the coin always goes up, which means there's about a $700 to $800 a day average of buying. And that's fine. And you would say, well, Ant, if you're buying twice as much as selling, how come it's not up more? Well, because now we're exhausting our supply of the 1 billion. So we're selling as well. The point is, we want to exhaust the 1 billion, grow out as many automated accounts as possible, and let it fly. That happens slowly, and then it happens all at once. And what I mean by that is, because we've been slowly building this, there's been no reason to go ahead and really focus on that. We're just perfecting and perfecting and perfecting it. What's going to cause that to explode is the marketing. We've got to bring the people in. As you would have recalled just 5-6 minutes ago, we shared with you marketing is now the focus. So 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, meaning this is going to move, and it's going to move over the next 3 months. I would say we would easily reach $10 by March, because I want us to reach $10 by March. And you might say, well, Ant, just because you want something, the hard stuff is behind us. Now it's about what kind of work ethic do we have to go ahead and spread a message to allow people to easily get in. That's my job. That's what I need to do. That's what's being required of me now. So RHINO Time Machine, which actually I want to pull it up. So let me just see if I could find it. And I know you can see me, but I can't see you. I'm on a website pulling it up. Where is it? I think this is it, right? So let me pull it up. Bop, 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 bop. And I can only imagine what my face looks like right now. How come? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Copy. So let me just make sure this is the right thing. Cool. Okay. So I have it. Sorry about that. I'm only on one screen today because I'm not working from home. So I'm going to put this in the chat. So you would have seen this in the email, right? And if you didn't open the email, or you didn't get the email or whatnot, now you're seeing it now. What that link allows you to do is to select an amount, any amount from $0 to $10,000. We're capping it at $10,000, where you can instantly purchase RHINO at $1.50. Now again, it's $1.93. And for the person out there that has an obvious calculation, they might say, well, Ant, I could purchase it at $1.50 today. I could sell 75% of it to make my money back tomorrow, and I could keep 25% for free. Yes, you can. But I just want you to know you're really going against the spirit of what we're doing if you do that. I can't stop you, right? Like, if you are so opportunistic that you want to do that, God bless, right? Go for it. I can't stop you. But that's not the reason we're doing this. The reason we're doing this is to allow those, and I know this, right? Anthony, is it too late? Anthony, is it too late? I missed it. Oh my God, I missed it again. Those that feel like they've missed something are able to get in and say, you know what? I know it's $1.93. I could sell for $1.93 right now. but Anthony allowed me the time machine, and I'm actually in at $1.50. I'm up 25% right now. Actually, I'm up 33% right now. And I believe that will allow many people to say, all right, I could finally get in. I'm getting in with an immediate 33% profit that I could go ahead and sell tomorrow. Now, people might say, Anthony, that's like totally crazy. Like, why would you ever do that? In fact, people might be smart enough to say, Anthony, if everyone did that, you'd go bankrupt tomorrow. I would. It wouldn't be good. That's why no one ever does this stuff. But I can also tell you, RHINO's just not built that way. There is no large percentage of anyone in RHINO that would say, oh, look, at the risk of bankrupting RHINO, I could make a profit tomorrow. They just wouldn't. And I believe, I heard the quote somewhere, to love someone is to give them the power to destroy you and trust that they won't. I love you and you love me. So that link will allow you to RHINO Time Machine. For those that have not gotten in, you now can get in and have an immediate 33% gain. For those that have gotten in, obviously you've watched RHINO a little bit more than anyone else. You've invested in it, you're part of it. That's for you as well. It's not only for one person, right? We want to thank everyone equally. So for someone that has 10,000 RHINO, 20,000 RHINO, whatever, and they're like, you know what? Why wouldn't I want more at a discounted price? Like, duh. That's for you as well. That link will expire today at midnight. Well, not expire, but I'm going to go delete it, right? Because I know a lot of times, especially in marketing, especially with people I used to work with, you have one day to do this right now, and then tomorrow it's like, we reopened it because of all this demand. And then the next day it's like, oh my God, we're overwhelmed. We have to do it. When the whole time you knew, like you were just going to tell people 3 days in a row that they better act now. That's not this. At midnight, that link will be gone because I'm not completely foolish. Like I can't go around and say everyone just, take free money. But I want everyone in before we do this big marketing push. It's kind of like last call, because once this big marketing push, RHINO Warp Speed, launches December 1st, there's no looking back. The first year not only would be gone, but kind of the first iteration. Like RHINO 1.0 was from 2017 to this December. That's when we learned everything we built. From this December forward, it's like RHINO 2.0, now marketing and creating the awareness. And anyone that has seen what we've been doing, wow, that's impressive. They always got things done, bop, bop, bop. Anthony doesn't always know what he's doing, but I can assure you he's gonna get it done because he's gonna get it done. That doesn't change. Just put the marketing hat on that. So imagine that. Because I gotta tell you, I don't know how to invent anything, right? Like I've never done coding, but we got it done. Marketing is my entire life. My entire career has been marketing. So it is really impressive what we've done while I have zero knowledge on how we done anything we did. I know how to delegate and manage a team, right? Like I know how to look at smart people and say, do this, or not do this, but how do we do this, right? But when it comes to marketing, that I do know. I retired from Wall Street in a really, really high position. So if you take the work ethic you've seen thus far and any type of impression you've had of Anthony's ability to get it done, and then put it in a and then put it in a job title that I know how to do, you're gonna see magic, right? So it's my personal opinion, RHINO will be over $100 by November 2023. And it is my personal opinion that in November 2023, for anyone that did not participate, will say, Anthony, I really wish you nudged me. Like I really wish, I really wish that was the day that you allowed the live to go more than 10 minutes. In fact, I wish that was the day you allowed it to go more than 20 minutes. In fact, I wish that was the day that you said, just do it. So knowing that, we're in a time machine right now. This is that moment. Just do it. I'm not, it's difficult with money because I can't sit here and say, I guarantee you this, and this. Like, what do I know? Pancake Swap could blow up tomorrow. And there's things outside my control. But I can assure you, anything that is in my control is going to get done. So as long as like a comet doesn't hit the globe, we're gonna be fine. And you also gotta remember, I know what the next year is gonna look like, not just in RHINO, but economics. It's gonna be disgusting. It's going to be a really, really difficult year. And there's going to be a time during the year where things get so difficult that you're going to say to yourself, you know, if only we had a chance to gather, right? Like if only we had a chance that all of us that are disenfranchised right now had the opportunity to gather on a platform, that our value would be revealed, that we would have a say at the table. And you're gonna think back, that was RHINO's whole goal. I wish I saw it then. That is what we're going to do. So we also have group format that we're revealing in December that allows everyone in RHINO to have a place they call home to collaborate with each other. I think you remember we tried to make a RHINO Twitter, and we were successful, but it wasn't successful. We've done a lot of things since then because RHINO needs three things, right? The search, the bucks, and a place that everyone could congregate and call home. The search is done, the bucks are done, the place to call home is RHINO Warp Speed. I'm gonna go, right? Because I don't want this to be a sales video. I just want to come out and say hello. But what's going to happen over the next year is going to be something truly good. And Anthony's not saying something and then it's like, oh, you don't see him for a year. Like you're gonna see me tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Saturday, right? And you'll see me every day thereafter. You could book a call with me. You could read the emails. You could respond to the, I'm not going anywhere. So when I say sentences like that, I have to also live up to it. So for all those that are here for the first time today, you could take it to the bank when I say something, except for apparently the automations, which I can't for the life of me, but I'm gonna get that done today. So I love everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't go too crazy on Black Friday. Every other deal on the internet that says today's your only day is lying. You could get it tomorrow, but this one, today's your only day. I love everyone, love, 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 and like eat leftovers today. I can't wait to get back home with my wife and my son and my daughter and just eat leftovers. Like I might be in my boxers on the floor eating leftovers all day. So imagine a RHINO swimming in like a puddle of mud. That's what I'm gonna look like. See ya. Bye everyone.